Good boss of YouTube, what's up, how's it going everybody? Have for y'all today a pretty interesting and very close Ubers Wi-Fi battle I had against 420 Blaziken off of my Discord. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button down below. Actually, no, it's a thumbs up button. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below and answer the potential comment question of the day. So we are going to be back into the Ubers tier this time for Wi-Fi. I mentioned that before. I wanted to take a little break from doing Ubers on Wi-Fi, and I think it's been about almost 10 battles since I think I've posted an Ubers battle, but I've still kept up the Ubers lives, and much like before guys, Ubers is honestly still currently my favorite tier. So going into this match, my opponent had a very hyper offensively based team, so that was going to be very scary. And I'm using a team that was based around Arceus-Flying, which is a pretty cool Arceus form I don't think you ever see in Ubers like at all. So yeah, going into this match, he had a lot of scary potential threats, man. It's Ubers, everything is a threat, and because he's got this Excadrill, this leads me to think that he's got a rock polish or double dance variant of Primal Groudon in the back. So I ended up leading off with my Yveltal there because I was on the low hoping that I could get a flinch and prevent him from getting up stealth rocks. But even if I didn't get the flinch, I would still be able to get off a decent amount of damage on the Excadrill. Then as I bring in my Diancie here, there was no reason for him to go for Earthquake there against a flying type, and I expected him to go for the Toxic because typically lead Excadrill and Ubers don't carry Iron Head, so I wasn't really concerned about what he wanted to do to my Diancie here. As I knock him out, in comes the Xerneas. If this is Scarfed Xerneas, he outspeeds me. If it's not Scarfed, I could get off some damage with my Moonblast, or I could think long term and get on my Stealth Rocks. The reason why I decided to go for Stealth Rocks was because I still have a Necrozma-Dusk-Mane in the back, and even though it is a double dance variant of Necrozma-Dusk-Mane, at full, even after rocks, I still live any one singular hit from modest max special attack +2 Xerneas. So unless he crits me, then there's not really too much I felt that I lost here by going straight for the rocks, because I realistically didn't need to get off any damage on Xerneas here. So he is going to end up outspeeding me this following turn and just wiping the floor with my Mega Diancite, which is actually a Pokemon I kind of want to use a little bit more in Ubers. It seems pretty solid, but as I did mention, I do have Necrozma-Dusk-Mane here, so I will be able to safely bring it in and skillfully dodge a Focus Blast, which it is 70% accuracy, so you can't always rely on it hitting. Trust me, I've been there plenty of times before, and that's actually really good for me because now my Necrozma doesn't have to take a humongous hit, and I can still potentially tank one attack from one of his other more than likely offensive mons. As in comes the Primal Groudon here. I'm expecting him to either want to go for the Precipice Blade or potentially go for the Fire Punch, because if this is a double dance Groudon, he either has Stone Edge or Fire Punch as his second offensive move, or if he's Rock Polish, then he could have the Precipice Blade with Stone Edge along with Fire Punch here. Regardless though, I felt that my Arceus-Flying was my best aggressive switch in here because it covered 2/3 of what he wanted to go for, and after rocks he only had about a 50% chance to knock me out with the Stone Edge if he was running Adamant Max attack, and unfortunately he does miss the Stone Edge on my Arceus-Flying, and I'm gonna go straight for my Z Fly. Typically Arceus-Flying are especially offensive with a Calm Mind and Judgment, but this variant was physically offensive because I got this team from the Amazing Mo, which I'll be honest, this team may not be the best Ubers team around, but it's definitely a lot of fun in theory, and I will be able to Supersonic Sky Strike this Groudon, as this next turn he not only hits the Stone Edge, but he does get the 50% chance roll in his favor to knock me out. So I did have a decent chance to live that first Stone Edge if he had hit it, so I still might have been able to connect with my Z Fly there, and then the next turn he would have been able to pick me off regardless. As I bring in my Ferrothorn here, at this point I'm convinced that this most likely does not have the Fire Punch, so he most likely does have Swords Dance as a final move. Regardless though, I am going to go for the Leech Seed this turn, and at this point in the match I felt like me switching out was way too obvious, so I stay in here thinking that he's gonna go for Stone Edge, because Yveltal realistically is so free here if he goes for Precipice Blade, and this Groudon is still a humongous threat to my team, but he just goes straight for the Precipice Blade and unfortunately misses. Now that miss really did suck, considering the fact that he's already missed a Focus Blast and a Stone Edge earlier. So my Ferrothorn is able to knock out the Primal Groudon here, as he's going to end up bringing in the Marshadow, and at this point I don't really have a safe switch into Marshadow regardless of what I wanted to do here. I didn't want this to potentially just freely set up, so I believe I did end up going for the Leech Seed on the off chance that maybe he was going to try and go for like a bulk up, because I've seen a lot of bulk up Marshadows as of recently in Ubers, so that thing could have definitely been a very scary mon to deal with. As I'm able to chip him down with the Iron Barbs and Life Orb Recoil, I will be able to bring in my Scarf Yveltal here, and with him being at -1 defense and being at about what seems to be 80-ish%, I should be able to safely knock him out with the Oblivion Wing. Part of me did want to actually go for the foul play, because I did suspect that this Arceus was going to be Extreme Killer just based off of how offensive his team was. So if I had gone for the foul play there, I think in the long run that might have been my better play, because I could have been able to KO this Arceus, I believe. I don't remember the calc correctly right off the top of my head, but I want to say that foul play would have done more damage. If it didn't, then Oblivion Wing here wasn't realistically too bad. As he goes for the Swords Dance, because I'm at full HP, I will just barely hang on and be able to knock him out with another Oblivion Wing. I almost wanted to bring in Necrozma there, but I felt that it might not be worth it, because it's probably better for me to just try and knock out this Arceus, because there was still a chance that he was Choppleberry Extreme Killer, which did gain some popularity when Marshadow was introduced, but he did turn out to be Life Orb. So if I knew it was Life Orb, I should have brought in Necrozma. Either way though, Marshadow will be able to come in here as he knocks me out with the Shadow Seed. That crit did not matter at the range of HP that I was at. He definitely would have knocked me out regardless. So this allows me to bring in my Primal Groudon, because this is a more bulky offensive Primal Groudon. I can actually comfortably live a close combat followed up by a Shadow Sneak. So the great thing about this is that as long as he does not crit me with the close combat, I should be able to safely go for a Rock Polish, and then the following turn I can safely knock him out with Earthquake, which I don't think I've seen many Groudon with Earthquake, but this is where you kind of hit that gray area in Pokemon, where if you have those low accuracy moves that are not 100%, they have that small percentage to miss. And ultimately, if you look at it, you can't really be too upset if you miss a move that is not 100% accuracy, because you're taking the risk of making the play of clicking that inaccurate moves. So with this Groudon set, I don't have to risk potentially missing Precipice Blade when I can always guarantee hitting the Earthquake, and that means I 100% knock out the Marshadow without risking the 15% chance of him dodging, because Precipice Blade is only 85 accuracy. So I knock out the Marshadow, as in comes the Salamence here. I don't lose much in just going for the Stone Edge, as long as well, even if I had missed here, the thing is that I'm not sure how much it would have mattered in the long run of the battle, because I still had my Necrozma in the back, and the thing about it is that his hardest hitting move to do any damage to my Necrozma is Earthquake, and Necrozma actually does carry the weakness policy, which means that I would still be able to get off a +2 Sunsteel Strike or Photon Geyser regardless if you did want to go for the Earthquake there. So I'm not sure if me missing the Stone Edge there really would have been too game changing, but I was able to hit, and then Necrozma will be able to tank one Earthquake thanks to it being able to leap out of the way of the Xerneas' Focus Blast, and I will be able to just barely win 1-0. So very good game to 420 Blaziken. As I mentioned, there's a meaning. There's a little bit of meaning behind this match because again, it hit that little gray area of Pokemon where it's like he missed a Precipice Blade, a Stone Edge, and a Focus Blast, all of which definitely mattered. Not saying that they didn't, but in the long run, he took the chances of them missing. So yeah, I'm not sure like how you guys really feel about this battle. I would actually be interested to know what you guys think about this, and that's kind of the correlation to the question of the day here. So please let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you all tomorrow with some Draft League content. Shouts out to Mr. Mercro there. And I will see you all later.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks. Yeah. 6 foot hacks.